Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Ramirez Jr., and I'm joined by a special guest. We got a pro boxer from Sacramento, California, Malikai Machine Gun Johnson.
What
How's it
up?
going, champ?
I'm all good, brother. How's it going?
Glad to hear, man. Thank you so much for making the time.
Yeah, no problem.
First question I got for you. It's the most basic question. I'm sure you get asked this all the time. But how did you get into boxing?
How'd I get into boxing? It was two reasons mainly. For one, it was because of bullying. It started with bullying, and then I started acting out as a consequence of the bullying. Um, I was getting bullied by a boxer from a gym out here that I won't be named. He's a junior Olympic champion, silver gloves champion, because we were like 12, 13 at the time. So, he wasn't no golden glove or nothing, but he was a little junior champion. And I don't know, him and his friends just kept picking on me. And I, was, I ended up getting a fight, not with him, but with somebody else. And I was at home. I got a 5-day suspension. And I was just so frustrated, so mad. I started beating up on my brothers. I, I took out my stuff on them. And then my mom didn't like that. She put me in boxing. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And we got a comment here from Black Grass Podcast with the flame emojis. So salute to Black Grass.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. Next question I got for you, Malachi, is on your nickname, Machine Gun. How did you get that nickname?
Man, so I've never I've never fought like a machine gun. I'm not gonna lie. At least when I was coming up, I was more like a sniper. But there was one fight that my boy went to, and I just really didn't like the guy, and I went off, and I was throwing like I've always been I've always been pretty fast, but I was throwing pretty hard too. And the sounds, I remember I used to watch the amateur or my amateur fighting the video, and bah, 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 and then he just kept yelling machine gun. So my homie Eric Shada Smith, he's a kickboxer out here now, or he's a coach for the Fight Farm down out here in South Sac. He gave me that nickname. Yeah,
Nice. And it just stuck ever since.
stuck ever since. It went with it was like phonetic. It went with my name, Malachi Machine Gun Johnson. I was like, ooh, that's kind of tight.
Yeah, it flows well. And I mean, if I was looking at that as my opponent, whew, I'll be worried.
People already say that with my name, Malachi.
Malachi.
That's a strong name. It's a biblical name, but I don't know. I just if you hear my name, I bet if you read my name, you'd probably be more nervous than if you see me. They'd be like, "What's this skinny little lanky dude gonna do?" But I'll be always smiling and stuff. But yeah,
And
the name's intimidating.
that reminds me kind of like a Triple G, because outside the ring, you don't think he's like that power puncher, that beast, and then inside the ring, different story.
You seen that? You seen that meme that goes around? It'd be like, it's hard to tell that this guy will be, and he's got like
Oh yeah, with this button-ups and
the
stuff.
polo and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
seen
a
that floating
monster.
around. 100%. And then Malachi, I see you were originally from New Jersey. When then you moved to Sac?
Oh yeah, my bloodline is from New Jersey, but I moved out here when I was like 2, 3 months old. So Sacramento has always been my home. Like it literally, like
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about New Jersey. I don't know. I know one family member out there, so it's like, yeah, New Jersey is, it's cool to say, like, when girls ask me where you from, I'd be like, shit, I'm from Jersey. I'm foreign. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
stand out a little bit, but but nah, really, I'm a Sac dude all the way.
Through and through, for sure, for sure. And then can you tell us a little bit about your amateur career? Did you have a long amateur career? And then what were some of your biggest accomplishments from back in the day?
So I actually started in kickboxing.
Mm.
I don't know if you ever maybe some of the fans if you ever seen the movie The Last Dragon. I
Hmm.
grew up on that with Bruce Leroy and stuff. So I seen a black dude doing kicks and kung fu moves and stuff, and I was like, damn, that dude is tight. Like, and I grew up with that. So when I got into boxing, I started up at LA Boxing, which was a MMA, or it's a UFC gym now, but it was a mixed martial arts gym. So I was doing punches, kicks, and everything. So I started in kickboxing, and I was like 13-2 or 3 or 13. Yeah, I had like a decent record over there. And then I won the IKF, the World Classic. It's like where people come all the way around the world to come fight. We all meet up in Florida. I won the title there, and I was feeling myself. I was super cool. And then I lost it. The following year, we went back out there. I lost to
Mhm.
Canada, and I was just I was just young, and I didn't really know how to take a loss. I was just
Mhm.
like, I'm not the best in the world. Like, I'm not in the best in the, like, I'll never, how could I be the best if I'm not the best? And I honestly, I gave it up, and I was like, man, I'm like, but I would always get compliments on my hands in the kickboxing anyway. I was always like breaking them down with the boxing, and then my kicks, they were cool, but they're not like, you ever see Ong Bak or like the Muay Thai dudes.
Yeah.
I wasn't killing dudes with my kicks. They were more flat. Yeah, I was spinning and jumping and doing hella crazy spin. Like, I just wanted to put on a show. So
Uh,
uh, I was like, man, I think I should probably just do it with my hands and switch over to boxing. And then I was like 26-6 in boxing, so not a long amateur career, but altogether I had about 50 fights between boxing and kickboxing.
kickboxing.
I didn't go to nationals. The biggest tournament I won was the Desert Showdown, the one with Tim Bradley down there in uh,
Mhm.
Oxnard. No. Indio. Yeah, so I
Mhm.
won that, and I won a couple other tournaments, the ones in Concord, the Robert Guerrero tournament, like, but nothing national. I because coming over from kickboxing, I didn't have very much knowledge of boxing, so I just thought, oh, I'll just keep winning these local fights, and then if there's tournaments in California, do them. But I never knew what nationals was. Now I look back, I wish I did that, or I wish I tried it. Checked it out,
Mhm.
got some recognition, but yeah, everything happens for a reason. I'm working my way up the local scene, so you know, pretty.
Yeah. And then you want to talk about your pro debut, back in September 22nd of 2017 versus Tyrone Willis. Can you tell us about that fight and what were your emotions heading into that fight? Any nerves at all?
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie, that whole fight was a blur. Like,
Mm.
I didn't necessarily like. Man, now that I look back, I can't really. I don't have like. Not that I don't have much memories of it, but I don't remember being nervous or anything. I went into it like I didn't know. Going into box, I didn't know the politics of box. I didn't know the setup. I didn't know anything about it.
Mhm.
Just all I knew, like, I went from kickboxing to boxing. I just know I just got to fight the best dudes and whatever. I didn't know his record, but I got with a good promoter, good coach, and they set me up well. And I see now I'm older. I see the politics of boxing and how things go. But I went in,
Mhm.
got a cool TKO, and then just got in, got out. Yeah, but I'm actually friends with that guy now. I try to be friends with all my opponents actually after the fight, but not before. But yeah, he's I guess he's still around, still boxing. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty it's all part of the journey. It's just
Mhm.
competition, and just went in, try to get my finish, get him out of there, and then yeah, it was a cool experience.
Sweet. And then I see your only blemish on your pro record is that technical draw to Jose Quema Delgado. Is that a fight that you feel has an unfinished business and you want to run it back and get a rematch, or is it both of your careers kind of different paths and that's kind of behind you?
Yeah, I see. Actually, kept up with his career a little bit. I went and because I was just looking through my box rec, just trying to see my ranking at one point. And then I
Hmm.
clicked and seen his. Man, that fool got pretty active. I think he's moving up in weight, or he moved up in weight to 130 or 135. I don't have any like, I don't have any ill will towards him or need to correct that. Me and the people that showed up that night knew what was happening. Um, he was a top prospect, and we were getting it on, but I think I was starting to edge that. It only went to like a little bit in round two, but I thought I clearly won round one, and you know if he's willing to come down to 126, I guess, whatever. But I'm campaigning at 126 now. I've been fighting big dude. I haven't fought at 126 since 2020, so I gotta stop taking these fights with these Mexico dudes coming in overweight and stuff, and like 130, 135. Time to start getting ranked at featherweight and start getting like putting the division on notice and moving up the rankings to, yeah, that's 126 is where I'm going to campaign at. So whoever wants to hear.
100%. And then we got a Monster Yo in the chat. What up, Monster? And some more flaming with G's. You got the the bicep of the champ. We got the crown and we got the cool glasses. So yeah, Monster Yo, he's actually the manager for a cruiserweight boxer, undefeated, Sonny McEwen. And I think him and Sonny actually he's gonna fight Sugar Sheree.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's gonna be a dope
Man,
fight.
shout out to man. Hey, that's Sheree, man. I seen that fool come a long way. Like I seen him when I first went over to boxing. Man, he's huge now. Like I watched this fight over at on the Thompson card, and I see him sparring with my cruiserweight homie, who's gonna be making his debut on my card too, Terrell Glenn. So yeah, man, Sheree. My coach actually told me, we had he had this rough, tough little 130-pound dude or 140-pound dude, and he actually has a win over Sheree in the amateurs. I'm like, what? Like it's such a I don't know. It's just nothing against Sheree. He's probably it's probably a close fight. He probably did really well. I was just like, man, that fool was like this dude. He was just a scrappy young 140-pounder. I'm like, man, how the hell did he get a win over? It's just a funny tidbit to hear that. Damn, that somebody this little hoodlum pretty much little thug got a win over like one of the top cruiserweights. Right? I'm like, damn, yeah, but
Yeah, for sure.
right, good for him. Glad to hear that.
So and then I noticed you had one pro fight in Tijuana, Mexico. How was that experience fighting in Mexico?
I ain't never fighting in Mexico again, bro. The only reason I took the Mexico because I've never really liked the idea of Mexico fights. Like, I just I just don't like. You can go down there to pay to fight. I'm a prize fighter. I don't want to get paid to fight. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and especially when I went down there and I seen, oh my gosh, the type of stuff that happens. Like, I went down there and the weight was corrected on BoxRec, but when I got the screenshot when I first went down there, they read the weights out in one, it was in kilograms when I looked down, and two, they read it in Spanish, so I didn't even know what the weights were, but it said it was a welterweight fight, and I was like, I weighed 127. This fool came in like 141 or something. I was like, and then man, we got robbed. Well, first, when I first got there, we didn't come with a Spanish speaker, so we got robbed by the border patrol, the cartel. We pulled in the border, pat us down. They pulled out our wallet, and then they pulled some money out, put it back in, put it in our wallet. We drove off, and see that there's like $200 missing. And then I fought a dude that was on steroids or some type of like. So there was two corners, a Mexican corner, and an American corner. I'm not shy, so I was like everybody's sitting outside waiting in line. I'm like, man, it's cold out here. I walked in, I made myself comfortable. I got dressed. I'm halfway dressed, and then they're like, go to the American side. Go to the American. I'm like, man, I'm already getting wrapped. You can tell my opponent to go over there. Like I'm already here. I'm like, why are you so pushy? Then I look over and I see some dude pull his ass cheek out, and they stick him in the butt, and I was like, well, maybe he's diabetic. Maybe he needs some insulin. Then I see them all line up, and then they all pulled their ass cheek out. And they stuck them. I was like,
man,
whoa! I was like, it gets sketchy down here. So, and then on top of that, I got sick from the water because I had went to Subway and I had got a drink or something, but I had got their ice too, and I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. So yeah, that was some of my fights that went to a decision. Probably shouldn't have went to a decision. It was a mess up on my part, but it happened. I got the win. It is what it is. So. It was a crazy experience being in Tijuana, having people, boo you and cuss you in another language, but I don't know what the fuck I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what they say, so it didn't bother me.
There you go. Then Monster says, shout out to you all. Shout out to Monster. Appreciate the love, man. And then I want to talk about your most recent fight, which was May 13, 2022 versus Pablo Batres. How do you rate that performance?
So I had went over to the Golden State Bloodhounds with Coach Ray in October of the year before. So I think at that point I had been with my coach for about 6 months. I rate that performance like a C plus, maybe a B minus, because I didn't really get hit that much. But my first fight in January where I knocked the dude out like silly. That fool that one I didn't like that I wasn't very mobile. Like my coaches
Mm.
teaching me power, but I felt like I totally abandoned what made me successful with the UFC gym and stuff, or with my previous gyms, with my movement and my footwork coming from kickboxing. And I was very planted, and I took a couple shots, like not super hard shots, but shots that if I had been fighting higher competition, probably would have got me caught. So I felt I was too stationary. And then I that fight with Pablo Batres in May, I felt like because he came in big, he was like 135 or 138, 140. It was some mess up.
Mm-hmm.
What he missed weight, and we fought a really high weight. I was a little anxious of his weight, and I was moving around too much, and probably wasted a little more energy than I needed to. So, yeah, it was that. I give it I moved around a lot. If I was looking back now with my talents now, I moved more than I had to. I
Mm-hmm.
probably could have cut smaller angles instead of kind of running and having them catch me. But I wore him down, was punching his body, wore him down, made him miss, made him tire out, and then TKO'd him from there. So a win's a win, but I'm not necessarily. I'm right now. I'm building my skill, building my record. I'm not looking at these dudes at the local level I'm beating. I'm trying to build my skill for the top of the division. And now that I've
Elite.
now that I've been with Ray for a while, sparring some of the better dudes, Kane, um, RV4, Andy Vince's, Zachary Sam, Kevin Montano, Will Villa, a lot of the undefeated prospects, undefeated professionals. Now that I've been getting this work, I'm like a way more confident. Well, I feel like my skills are way more well-rounded for the top of the game. Just gotta get active and put it into play in the fights, and then I'll be ready.
Yeah, and let's talk about your next fight now. You'll be back in the ring. This next Saturday, April 1st, on the Uppercut Promotions card here in Sacramento, California. What can fans expect to see from you?
Yeah, so I'm fighting he's a veteran. He doesn't have that his record is not that pretty. He's like 15-30 or something. But what I noticed is that on his losses that he has a lot of losses to a lot of dudes in my division that I actually highly respect. My boy down in LA, Jalen Skywalker, I sparred him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure, did he fight Austin Brooks, but he fought Haven Brady. He fought what's that dude I want to fight? The Olympian he fought a lot of really good undefeated prospects, and that even though he lost to them, he hasn't been knocked out. Out of all those losses, he really pushes these guys. He fought Vincent Morales Jr. Like he's undefeated, like 16-0, and he struggled. He took him to a split decision. Like these guys are struggling with this guy because he's so durable. My goal is to show my fans, to show my promoter, to show the rest of the dudes on his record that are undefeated that they struggle with him because he's so durable, that I'm different than them, that I want to be a boxer puncher, and that I'm not just gonna run around because I'm long and lanky. I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like Diego Corrales. I'm gonna be snapping my punches at the end I plan on getting this dude out of there. Hopefully fourth, fifth round stoppage.
Sweet. I think you're the main event for that fight, right?
Yes.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on being the headliner.
Yeah. This I think out of 10 fights, I think I got like 4 or 5. I've been able to do 4 or 5 main events out here in Sacramento, which is a kind of a feather in my cap that I'm able to sell so many tickets. I got so many fans that I'm able to. I mean, I know it's just a DoubleTree, but I got 4 fights this year, so um, you know, hopefully with those ones I can headline some of those too. I got enough fans I could sell out. My next one's at May 27th out in Oroville at the Gold Country Casino. I don't know if I'll be the main event for that one, but I know I got a good, even though it's not in Sacramento, it's an hour away. I'm going to have a good amount of people coming all the way out to see me because I have a lot of really dedicated fans out here. Um, yeah, July back at the DoubleTree, I could sell that out again. And then October 13th at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. That one is going to be that one's a much bigger venue. So hopefully hopefully I got enough fans. I've always sell out the DoubleTree, but hopefully I got enough fans to pack the house there. But yeah, we'll see.
That's awesome. You got a comment here from Cassandra Martinez. Says excited to see the performance after hearing that. So
Thank you.
shout out to Cassandra.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're starting to map out your 2023. You're going to be busy. So, love seeing that activity.
Yeah, I heard one of the fights on Top Rank. I don't know if it was Dre or Tim Bradley, but they were saying one of the biggest problems for up and coming boxers or prospects is activity. So that this year, my coach really wants me to have a step up in competition, but it's hard to do both of those unless you have a promoter with a good promoter with backing with money that is willing to put in the money to find you, opponents that are step up and level every time. They're ranked, in your weight class and stop and they're ranked in your weight class and that's so this year I'm working with that Uppercut Promotions, Nasser, and he's going to get me active and we're going to be stepping up in competition. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And then, do you have a dream opponent in mind that you want to like fight in the future?
Oh man, I got a bunch. Who's a dream opponent though? Man, who's at the top? Man, that sucks. I know it sucks
But
because I know Lee Wood just got knocked out by
yeah, so I
Lara.
mean, the thing is, all three champs are Mexicans. You got Bronco Lara, Mauricio Lara, then you got Venado Lopez and
Bernardo,
Ray Vargas.
Braveheart. And it's crazy. And it was Navarrete, but he just moved up. There was like there
Yeah,
was like four Mexican champions at one point. So man, Mexico is doing big things in the featherweight division. But Bronco Lara, I think I could have success with him. I don't know. I thought that with the matchup with Lee Wood, I thought Lee Wood was just too slick for him. But
mhm.
man, he just got that Mexican power, huh? Got that hook. Venado, I think he's super sloppy. But and I think with Warrington had the right idea: smother him, fight dirty, make it messy, make it an ugly fight. But Venado just had enough to beat him. Ray Vargas, he's I think he's the most skilled out of the three. But and he's longer and taller and still possesses a decent amount of power. But I think out of the three, I think I would go with Bronco Lara. I think he would probably be the easiest path to get a title, even though he's not easy. He just knocked out like
No,
a
yeah,
dominant world champion. But style matchup wise, I think he's shorter. I think he throws more power punches. I'm longer. I got footwork. I can move around, and yeah. Hopefully, I can get that fight for the belt one day. But but my goal in the sport is to be WBC world champion. So if Ray Vargas is there when I get up there, then it's gonna have to be him. And, yeah, hopefully that's a great fight
yeah,
too.
and get that green belt. And now I want to switch gears to venues. What's the dream venue you want to headline one day?
I actually never cared. I actually did not have like a real dream venue, but I have a great respect for my coach and a great love for my coach, and I want him. He came up and he had a dream in boxing, and but when at the time when he was boxing, he's like 70 or 72 or something like that. So when he was coming up in boxing, it was kind of racist in Sacramento, and
Mm,
they didn't really want to give opportunities to black fighters, I guess, or that's from what he tells me. And so he never really got his shot. But he's Diego Corrales' first coach or his coach, his dad, and he said his dream was to fight at the not the is it the MGM? I'm pretty sure it's
Vegas.
the
Yeah, I
MGM.
think Jim Grant in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's the one in New York. Which one
Oh,
is it?
yeah. Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what he said. He wants
Hmm.
to fight at Madison Square Garden. So, if I get a big fight there, that I would love to take my coach to Madison Square Garden for a huge fight.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna stay in Sacramento, I think that Golden One Center should host a boxing event one day.
Oh yeah, that'd be super dope, man. Like, I mean, I got October 13th is the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. That's the biggest venue in SAC that we've had, or biggest fight venue in SAC that's going to be hosting a fight since Arco Arena. So hopefully
Mm.
after that we can move on up to the, or maybe do a couple at the Memorial, build up to the freaking to the Golden One. That's, man, that'd be a dream because I don't think there's been a boxing fight there yet.
Mm-mm. No,
Not there's
not
been
one.
UFC.
It's been UFC, and I asked Joe Sean James that same question. That he said Golden One says dream venue. He wants to do that one day in SAC.
Man, hey, I look at this. Look at this card I got. Look, me, Joe Sean, Kane. Those probably the three top undefeated prospects that are active right now from SAC. Me, Joe Sean, Kane. Who could be the main event though? Man, Xavier Martinez is still in SAC, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He hasn't fought in a little while. Uh, Man, who could be the big headliner on that? We ain't got one yet, but hopefully by the time, maybe in a year or two, me, Kane, and Joe Sean, one of us stands out and we get up in the rankings, because that's my goal this year, man. I'm trying to get, I'm ranked at 130, and I don't want to be ranked at 130 because I don't plan on fighting there. I'm not big enough for to be, or punching power enough to be contending with the top at 130, but 126, I'm 5'9". I got a 74-inch reach. I got power in these hands and speed. I got footwork. I think I could be a real problem at the top of the division at 126. So, um, yeah, I'm trying to. I got to get active. I got to get my record up. Hopefully, with these 4 fights that I have booked by the end of the year, I'll be 13-0, and I'll be somewhere up higher in the rankings. This dude, like I said, I'm fighting this dude. His record is not that good, but he's ranked above me. He's ranked like 200 something. I'm ranked like 400 something at 130. So after I beat this guy, I should move up like 200 spots. That's in the world, not in the country. I think in the United States, I'm ranked ranked number 50 or something. So I'm up there with in the country. So hopefully I can get like an NABF title, or a continental title at some point. But I mean, I want that green world championship belt. So.
Yeah, and you've shared this story before in a previous kind of a documentary that ITR Boxing did, but it's a Kane Sandoval sparring story. The first time you met him, can you kind of reshare that for our audience, because it's a funny story.
Well, it wasn't the first time I met him, because but it was my first time starting to spar him, like starting to get like, it probably had been like my 3rd time sparring him, maybe 4th time. But we had sparred a couple times, and man, we have a lot of unspoken respect. Like, we speak about it after the sparring, but before, we're not all going up to each other and fucking praising each other. Oh, you're so good at this. You're so good at that. We're actually pretty stoic, and we know that it's about to be, because we spar 10 rounds. Even though I'm a 6th round, but I'm about to start 8 rounds this year. Even though I'm a 6-8 round fighter, he's a 6 round fighter. Maybe he might go to 8 soon. We're already sparring 10 rounds. And we know before we spar that it's about to be a war. So yeah, we meet up, and the first couple sparrings, it went pretty well. One I might have got, one he might have got, one, but the one right before, he had got on me, and I was pretty bent up about it. My coaches were on my ass about it, so I was like, I walked up to him. I'm a jokester and stuff. Me and Kevin Montano, we grew up in the amateurs together, so we talk shit a lot. I went up there and said, "Hey, last time you got me, bro. My coaches were pretty mad. Like, today I'm about to whoop your ass." He's like, "Oh," your coaches are mad. He said, well, today they're gonna be pissed. And he said they did not. He did not talk to me for the rest of the day. He was fucking. He was mad. He was getting his hands gloves put on mad. He was getting his grease put on mad. And when we sparred that day. He turned it up a little bit. So it was that was a hard sparring session. But fucking Kane is no joke. Kane, when he gets mad or when he's serious, he means business. And yeah, I got a lot of respect for Kane. I just started sparring him again after some time sparring another gym. We were sparring him really often, sparring another gym, and or sparring him again, and yeah, he's like, man, thank you. I've been running over. I've been getting a lot of breaking a lot of my sparring partners. He's like, you're the only one that gives me like some of the best sparring. I can, stay in there with me 10 rounds. So I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I know,
I
motherfucker.
see. I knew that's a story worth sharing, man. We got the laughing emoji out of that story, man. So
Yeah, it was a good one.
it's a good one. And then, who was your favorite boxer growing up?
My favorite boxer growing up. I have to say, what's weird is like people say, old school or boxing or whatever, like it never changes or like boxing, like old stuff. Say, I think boxing does evolve, but I think it takes a fighter to change the game, like, and then everybody catches up to that fighter. Like, I think boxing was kind of you see Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley. It was just kind of like it was good boxing. And then you see Lomachenko come out of nowhere, and he changes the game. Now everybody is switching stances. Everybody's cutting more angles. Like so. One of my favorite fighters growing up, or my favorite fighter growing up, was Sugar Ray Robinson because it seemed like, and it's crazy because it's like there's nothing that there's probably some things, there's not a lot of things that he does back then that I could use now, but I just think he was just um amazing in changing the game of boxing. It's like he's fighting dudes that are like, fighting like this, and he's like he looks like Roy Jones. It's like a future fighter. He's fucking cut and fucking banging them like with crazy angles and devastating shots. It's like it was really something to behold. Like it's like watching how basic fighters would fight Roy Jones, and Roy Jones would hit him with speed and hands down and crazy. And it's just like somebody that is a generational, a total generational flip. I thought Sugar Ray Robinson was probably one of the first ones that just changed the game. Yeah, he was amazing. Now I like, well, I don't want to say now. I like Erislandy Lara. He is one of my favorite. He's a Cuban boxer. He makes almost no mistakes. He's a good lefty, solid defense. I thought he beat Canelo. Amazing, like solid defense, really crisp punches, and yeah, just a good feet and good hands. But he hasn't fought in a long time, so I don't know. I've been I just watch a lot of boxes now. I really like Frank Martin. I like a lot of southpaws because I'm a switcher, but
Yeah,
I like watching Frank Martin right now too.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think Lara's going to be fighting soon against the Australian Michael Sarafa because he just got the Triple G just vacated that belt, and Lara was the secondary, so now he's the full champ for the WBA.
Interesting.
So
Oh, wow. Triple G vacated, huh? I was gonna say,
yeah,
what's happening at 160? What the like? What I
yeah.
thought we were talking about middleweights earlier, and I was thinking about that. I was like, man, what we got? Jamal Charlo ain't fought in heck long. Is Boo Boo Andre? Is he a champ
He's
at
he's
160?
he's moved out. He's moved up to 168. So you got Jamal Charlo, who hasn't been active, Janibek, who's I believe the IBF champion, and
Yeah.
then Lara now with the WBA, and I think one of them is vacant. So
And those three, none of them seem to be looking to unify. I think Janabek might be. I met him down out in I was sparring at Blue Moon down in LA. So he seemed like he seemed pretty good. But man, I wish they were looking to unify at 160. And then I thought Canelo, didn't he come down to did he fight Triple G at 160 when he came
no,
down?
he made him move up, but he did fight the first two times were at 160, but then for
Yeah.
the trilogy is at 168.
I was asking some dudes in my gym. I thought that he went back and fought at 160. I was like, wow, he can still make 160 after making 175. Like that's
Nah,
crazy. But yeah, he probably won't come back down. But
I don't think so. But hopefully we get Jamal Charlo and Canelo 168. That'll be fire.
Yeah, or Jamal and Janibek, or literally Jamal and anybody, because I just want to see. I'm a big fan of Jermel, at least. I'm a
Hmm.
big fan of the Charlo brothers, and Jermel is amazing. He's a super inspiration to anybody coming up in boxing, wanting to take on challenges and being hungry and being disciplined and taking care of your family. He's a great model for boxing. But Jamal, he's been, I don't know if he's injured or what, but he's been sitting on the sidelines, kind of just talking shit for a while. But
Yeah.
no,
Oh, yeah.
hopefully, get to see him back, because his last fight against that one Mexican dude, man, I was a little worried. I was like, man, he got lumped up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And then, what do you like to do outside of boxing? What are some of your interests and hobbies?
Uh, I like to say I'm like the most extroverted introvert. Like, I'm really charismatic. I really turn up, but in places that I make myself comfortable in. And don't give me
Hmm.
that. If I go somewhere, I'll make myself comfortable there. Like I'll fake it till I make it. Like if I'm in a club, I really don't like to be in clubs and stuff. But if I go there, I'll fake it until I make it. But I'll yeah, I'll introduce myself to make like a good little circle around me and be like, okay, cool, I'm comfortable in this spot. But I like doing things like, I'm an old man. I like doing boring things. Like I'm in a real estate. I'm trying to buy property. I like grilling. Over quarantine, I got into. I always loved to cook, but over quarantine, I had to do inside the house activities. So I got really into grilling. I like good quality steaks, like good quality meats. I like smoking. Um, fishing. Fishing's cool. I just like doing, chill stuff. Like I like skateboarding with my dog. Like I'll grab my longboard and I'll hold him. He'll just take me around town. I like hanging with my family. I like doing chill stuff.
Sweet. And then the final question I got for you, Malachi, is not really a question. It's more so opening the floor. What's the message you want to send to your fans and supporters?
To my fans and supporters, everybody, like I have posted yesterday, I have a lot of confidence in myself. I worked really hard. I know what I'm doing in the gym. I know I got a closed gym with Ray Woods. I don't have like a big, tortoiseshell or tortoiseshell flawless, or like where people can video record you and post, and like they can see like your training every day. Just please trust and believe that I'm coming. I've been working my butt off, and I'm ready to this year. I can promise you that's going to be the breakout year. I'm really working hard to represent the city well, and I believe myself, and I'm thankful. I appreciate and thank you guys for believing in me too. Being able to believe in my skills, and just as much as I believe in them myself. And I'm gonna make you guys proud when I knock this dude out and I knock these other dudes out. I get up in the rankings, and I get a chance at one of these belts.
Well said. And I lied. I said it was going to be 20, 25 minutes before we started the interview, Malachi. We're well over. We're almost at 40 minutes. So I appreciate you, giving us really good answers. And
No, all good. Yeah.
it's great getting to know you. We, wish you the best on April 1st and, a big 2023.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time, Jose. Right?
Yeah, Jose.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you.
The virtual handshake. Yeah, you welcome back anytime, Malachi. We'll be definitely keep an eye on your career.
Cool.
And
Have a good one, brother.
everybody follow him on Instagram at Bankroll Molly. So,
Yep. Bankroll Mally. All right, y'all.
all right, take it easy, man.